Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your Pod Father.
And I'm Jeff without a cool nickname.
And today, we'll have to come up. Well, I mean, you have Aggro Jeff.
Yeah.
Your alter ego.
Is that just who I am? Aggro Jeff all the time?
Most of the time, yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. That'd be wild.
Yeah. Today, we're going to talk about the brackets, and we're going to really break them down. Jeff and I have noticed some things that we think people are missing, some nuances.
Shoot, things that I'm missing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how do I make this decision? There's very little guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that. But first, Aggro Jeff, what's aggravating you?
Yeah. So is that pack opening going to be able to go on, or is it unusable?
Well, we'll see. I'm working with it. We tried to do a pack opening with 3 of us, so we had to figure out a way to record all of us.
Yeah.
We had to use one boom mic because we wanted to be able to see our hands.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have lapel mics. The sound was iffy. We'll see. I'm going to play with it, but if it is coming out, won't be
we
for
are also testing
week
with using
anyway.
a boom mic above us, so it wasn't just because we don't have lapel mics.
Right,
because we could get those.
Yeah.
Would that help?
It might help. For
all right.
something
Well, we just
like that.
probably need to.
I think for when we want to do table recordings too, it would help.
Okay, so we probably need to get some of those, but. We did a box opening, me, Daniel, and you, and here's what aggravates me, and it's probably aggravates a lot of you. It's the joy of your friends opening up $1,200 worth of value and you opening up maybe $500.
Yeah.
And you should be happy at $500. Now the value is going to go down, right? So probably will not end up. Maybe breaking even, but you end up with cards you don't want. So you're like, you got the value, but I wasn't going to buy a book version Surge foil of Throndill. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Okay.
Throndill.
Yeah. So, but now I have it. So now I have to build it. But it's always so hard because, like, if you're the one that busts out, you're like, oh, I feel bad for the guy who didn't. And if you're the guy who didn't, you feel bad because you're the guy who didn't.
Well, and the problem is, I opened the most expensive card. I went first.
Yeah.
And I got that.
$1,000.
Yeah. Dwarven Runes Mox Amber.
Yeah. Oh, foil.
Foil.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had some other stuff too, but that was the big hit.
Yeah.
Swanee. And by the way, I'm not counting that in my value as 1,000. It's listed at 650, but nobody's selling it for that.
Right.
Like you can't buy it for 650.
Yeah, they're selling it at 1,000. Yeah.
Swanee opens a Surge foil 1 ring.
Yeah.
And another 1 ring.
Yeah. Not Surge foil.
And a bunch of other nutty stuff.
He just got gleaming, what's his, Gleaming Splendor, is it called? Yeah. And I think that was like a Surge foil.
Yeah.
He got crazy stuff.
Yeah. And then so you get to watch all of this.
Yeah.
And you're like excited for
I was the third opening.
Yeah.
And then it was just sad.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have been easier on you a little bit if you had gone first.
I am happy for Swanee, though, because it's his first opening a box and he killed it, so that feels really good. So if anybody was going to have a good opening, I kind of wanted it to be him.
Yeah.
And I've had some good openings before, and I'll save my blessings for Star Trek, right?
Yeah, right.
That's when
you're just going to open like 4 signature cards.
I just want a signed Picard.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
You know, really any next generation signed, I'd be super stoked with.
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, anyone except for original series.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still be happy with that.
I don't know. Discovery?
I'd sell it. I don't think they're going to have a signed card from Discovery. Do you think? I don't think
they might.
so.
I predict Michael Burnham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they might.
Yeah. I mean, I would sell it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I get that. That's definitely something to be aggravated. And I really feel like you peaked at your Jeweled Lotus.
Well, also my wife picking up that Gaia's Cradle for $500. It got graded at a 9.5 and now is an insane amount.
Yeah.
That's a win too.
Yeah.
So
you have luck in different areas, but I do feel like your box opening luck has been. But there's no way with the quantity it seems like you're going to get in Star Trek that you won't get at least one banger box. That's my prediction.
Yeah, probably won't. By the way, I know I'm not going to get a signed card. We're being ridiculous right now. The likelihood of that is just minuscule.
Yeah. Exactly. But let's talk about today's thing. So breaking down the brackets. So the problem that is happening is the websites like Architect and Moxfield and those type of things are starting to give your deck a ranking when you put it in.
And they're interpreting a lot of chatter into what they think. So like Moxfield says, you could have 3 extra turn spells in order to be bracket 3, I think it is.
Right.
but that's not the actual rules.
Right. Well, it depends how you use them, but we'll get into that. But like people will say, "Oh, this says it's a tier 1."
Yeah.
So we'll get into it, but there's no way it's a tier 1 when you.
So you're going even more aggressive, where you're saying like they're following all the rules as written, but they're not following the
rules as intended.
The letter of the law, which as intended, which is like bracket 1 should be basically for fun. You're not even trying to win.
And that is the thing that people are having a hard time wrapping their heads around. Their intent matters.
Right.
So if you try and break a bracket 1, you're not a bracket 1. You know what I mean? If you try and like squeeze things in there. And
if you're optimizing, you're not a bracket 1. You should be thinking about not what is the strongest card, what is the most interesting card.
Right. So let's get into bracket 1. So a bracket 1, the main thing that makes it a bracket 1 is it has a goal, idea, or theme that runs through the whole thing.
Yeah, so like dragons.
No.
No?
No, not dragons.
Okay.
Okay.
Elves. Elves?
No, else. So we'll get into this. But this is a flavor.
I'm being facetious, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a flavor. Archidect, Moxfield, and any of those sites cannot track this. Okay, they cannot track a theme, goal, or idea the way that this is meant to be.
Correct.
Types, subtypes, and supertypes are not a theme.
Now, AI possibly could. If you wanted to take all the rules as written and as like all their commentary on it too and drop that into AI, I'd be interested to see if ChatGPT could be like, because it did figure out when I did it for all my decks what kind of builder I am and what things I care about, and a lot of times I choose art over.
But the other thing you
efficiency.
have to remember is that ChatGPT has also gotten to know you through all the things you've asked it. It's remembering stuff,
right?
And it knows kind of cards you've asked it about, and themes. So it used some of that knowledge as well.
Yeah.
But people, even for ChatGPT, people are going to go in and feed the rules, just copy and paste, and be like, "There, now tell me." And it doesn't.
You have to do it honestly.
Right.
You have to honestly say, "I'm putting this card in because it has a hat."
Right.
And you can't be like, "I'm putting this card in because it's a dragon that's got wings."
Yeah.
My theme is wings.
Yeah.
Like you're being a tool.
Right. But it would say, "Oh, sure, wigs."
It would, because you're just telling it.
But so themes should be wacky, silly, or hard to do. This is directly from what they say about it. So, like I said, it can't be types, super types. It can't be anything like that. It can't be removal. It can't be, you can't. It has to be
Can
something.
it be winning? My theme is winning.
Yeah, my theme is winning. Yeah, 100%. No, in fact, for most of these decks, the theme is not winning. The theme is doing whatever, bringing out the stuff so you can see all the different cards that have a blue hat in them.
Yeah.
Or even just a hat, or that they're all sitting in chairs. Yeah. But then you could cherry pick. They've used chairs so much you could cherry pick and have a banger list.
Yeah.
The fact that they opened it up and said that, we'll get into this.
Today is the story of the letter A.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You could optimize that if you wanted to.
I mean, that is a little harder though. I mean, because if you're really going to do it, your land should match.
Well, a lot of themed decks don't do the lands.
Yeah, that might be true.
Because, where are you going to find lands with hats on them?
Well, you can proxy them, I guess. But win conditions should be highly thematic or substandard.
Right.
Okay? So if you're going to have a deck about chairs, then your win conditions should certainly have a chair.
Yeah, like I have a chair deck, but then I'm playing Insurrection.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Nobody's sitting down there. Yeah. They're all standing up. They're all angry.
Well, but even if you found a card like that where they're sitting down, it's like, okay, you're just winning with one card. Yeah.
It needs to be highly thematic or substandard. Not easily pulled off.
Right.
Not a 2-card combo.
Right. Not a 1-card combo.
If it's going to be a combo, it's probably going to be 4 or more cards, and you're not tutoring for it. If you tutor for it, you're really going against the spirit of the theme deck.
Yeah, unless you're tutoring for the thing that's finishing off your 7-card combo.
Right. If you're tutoring for that last piece,
exactly.
one piece so you can finish off, that's different. But if you tutor for each and every piece.
Or you're tutoring for your guy with a hat to do the final bit of damage, like that's fine.
And this is the part I don't like. I get it. They changed it as of the last update and said rules around card or commander legality are flexible if all players agree. That's true of every single game of Commander ever. They have always said that. If your group agrees, play an uncard as your commander.
Sure.
If your group agrees, you can play, Heroes of the Realm, even though it specifically says in Heroes of the Realm only the person
But
it was
it
given
fits
to.
better here because what they're basically saying is because you're not trying to win, you're not making this decision to break the game. You're making this decision because the card you want to play doesn't exist in actual Magic and it's not powerful.
Right. But this is another thing that those sites cannot map. They cannot tell if the other players agree that this is okay.
Well, right, and I don't. And the moment you put that card in, it's going to say it's illegal, and some of the ones won't even let you put it in.
As of the update, it'll put a star and say this may be illegal because it is allowed if everybody agrees.
Okay.
Play should last at least 9 turns until someone wins.
Right.
I mean, and you can have no game changers, no mass land denial, no extra turns, no 2-card combos.
Right.
Which include 2-card combos can be game enders, lockouts, or infinite combos. That's directly from the description.
Sure.
Okay? So those are theme 1. Yes, you can build a deck that Moxfield will tell you is a theme 1. I can tell you 90% of the theme 1s that I've seen perpetrated are not.
Okay.
So we'll move on to tier 2. All right, this is more common.
This is a tier that you're actually going to, and isn't it bracket 1 and bracket 2?
It is bracket, yeah.
So this is a bracket where you're going to see a lot more people play. I don't know really how many people are playing bracket 1.
And we'll get into it, but I don't think any of the people that I normally play with play bracket 2s, the ones at the shop.
Well, let's go through this.
Okay. Do you want to read a couple of the...
Oh, I can. Decks are mechanically focused with some cards maximizing creativity and entertainment. So that's interesting. Yeah, because that's very relative.
Yeah, but it is very relative. But like that's the way. This is why it used to say precons, because precons would tend to do this. +1/+1 counters, charge counters, trample. There's a theme to the deck.
Okay.
But it's more of a winning theme, a cohesive theme, something so that you have synergy, as opposed to the themes in the bracket 1 where your themes are for style or for silliness or for difficulty.
So like if you have the Gishaft deck, you're playing the Jurassic Park cards even when they're not optimal because you've got to put a dinosaur in there. For instance, I think I have that... which I've talked about it before, but I've got a couple dinosaurs in there I would not normally play, but you have to play that dinosaur.
Right.
So
you don't have to with this. Dinosaurs, as long as you're not... To me, like if you go and build a dinosaur deck and you put a bunch of changelings in, you're probably doing that because you're not really honoring the spirit of bracket 2.
Right.
And that would be more bracket 3 because you're probably doing that because the changelings you're choosing have better powers than the dinosaurs.
There's
because there's plenty of dinosaurs. There's no reason you need changelings.
There's a board wipe called Don't Move, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's one that has dinosaurs on it.
Yeah.
It's from that set.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like that board wipe. That's not a board wipe I don't play in any other deck. And if I was maximizing to win, I would not play it in that deck.
Right.
But because I'm big on theme, it has to go in that deck.
Yep.
Now, we run into some interesting issues, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but when you have rogues, and your rogue is a game changer, right? And then you're like, but I have to play this rogue in my rogue deck, what do I do? Yeah. Right? And we'll talk about that when we get more till bracket 3, but just remember that for when we get there.
Right. So, but there's kind of a theme with 2, but it's more of a cohesive synergy theme than a goofy theme.
Right. And you're not building up an instant win. You're not, I have nothing and now I have everything and you're instant dead.
Right. Well, I'm
building up creatures and I'm going to attack you. You have a chance for a board.
Well, that's the next point. Win cons are incremental, telegraphed, and disruptible.
Yep.
It's not, like he said, you don't come out of nowhere. You don't play Thassa's Oracle without on the stack Demonic Cultivation.
Correct, yeah.
Gameplay is low pressure, proactive, and considerate, letting each deck showcase its own plan. I highlighted this. I emboldened it. I underlined it. This is the part that I don't think I have a tier 2, a bracket 2. a true bracket 2, because I interact a lot. I tend to, that's not true. I probably have a couple of the decks where I've been playing them recently. I'm like, oh, I don't have enough interaction. It's probably actually just the right interaction.
I think I disagree with you. I don't think this means you can't have interaction.
It doesn't mean that. But it means, remember when we talked about a long time ago, like Sloan, you had to learn to allow sometimes somebody to try and do their thing. You're not going to let them win necessarily, but let them breathe a little bit so they can show off.
I'm never going to let anybody ever do their thing if I can stop it, because I'm playing a game.
Well, you at one time had learned, and you even said it on this podcast, that sometimes it's okay to let somebody show off their deck. You can still stop them from winning.
You can, but I don't even know if you're, like, I'm trying to wonder even if you're at bracket 2 at that point. You might just be being nice. I don't think that's a bracket thing.
No, here's the thing. I don't think you have a bracket 2. Because of that line. I think you're one of those players, and I'm one of those players who it doesn't make sense. What do you mean you don't interact? Yes, you can interact.
This doesn't.
You might stop somebody from winning, but you're not going to stop them from doing their cool thing because you're paranoid.
I don't think this says that.
It's considering it, letting each deck showcase its own plan.
Right.
Proactive, not reactive. This is the key. Proactive. You can play pillow fort and hide behind it.
It doesn't say proactive, not reactive. It says proactive and considerate.
But as we move on, tier bracket 3 actually uses the word reactive.
Right.
You know what I mean? There is some reaction in bracket 2, but not as much as in bracket 3.
That's true. That I would agree with. There's not as much. Okay, but there's still some interaction. For instance, my decks, I had to add a ton of interaction, Duncan. I mean, like I was running in a lot of my decks 2, 3, 4 interaction, because the way we tend to play, it's like, I'll let you do your thing, I'm going to do my thing, who gets there quicker. Like old battle cruiser magic, right?
Yeah.
Well, with some of the people we've had join the group now, that doesn't work. Their threats are killing you right away.
Right.
So I went up from 2 or 3 up to 5, 6, sometimes 10.
And this is my argument that what you did and what they built that you're reacting to is bracket 3.
But my decks, if I don't add them, are bracket 2.
Yes.
With 3 or 4 interactions. So I have those decks.
You felt like you had to come up to a 3 because that's what was being
presented. But I didn't do that in every deck.
No, and that's fine.
So I do have some bracket 2s.
It's possible. I mean, I haven't gone through your deck list, but it's possible.
Yeah.
But I'm saying your play style has always been, I'm going to stop that.
My play style has always been, you're not going to stop me. What do? I play Teferi's Protection, Clever Concealment. I've always been someone who, you do your thing, boo, and I'll do my thing.
To some degree, but if somebody drops an Atali.
Yes, but this doesn't stop you from removing an Atali. The difference would be like, you're playing a creature deck, and I play something that shuts off creatures.
So let me give you an example, right?
Yeah.
An Atali,
or 5 board wipes.
An Atali in a deck whose whole point is to cast spells off other people's decks.
Yeah.
Is a very different from an Atali where it's like, I'm trying to get your best thing off the top of your dinosaur deck. If you look around and you're playing, let's say, Reese the Redeemed, and over there they're playing counter spells, right?
Okay.
And over here they're playing maybe goblins.
Okay.
Okay. And then the player plays Atali.
Yeah.
You're going to look at that and go ahead.
Yeah.
You're going to get nothing that's going to scare me. Do your thing. You're going to get a goblin, which 1/1, 2/2. You're going to get something that might make some mana dork elf or something like that off Reese.
No. Pick a different deck. So you're saying like it's some sort of small to low to the ground elf ball deck. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, fine.
Yeah. And a counter spell. Go ahead, get a counter spell. What are you going to do? Counter your own thing?
Sure.
So I'm saying in that instance, you're going to let the guy do his thing. He's not trying to win. He's just trying to do his thing, cast spells off other people's decks. That's what he wants to do.
Again, though, if someone countered that Itali cast, and they're not a counter deck, they just have a counter in their deck because you have some removal. As long as you're not like removal.deck or board wipe deck, then I don't think you have a problem because you're not stopping them. You're slowing them down.
So let's just say that your mindset is right. You're not playing reactive. You're playing proactive. You're trying to protect your stuff.
Yep.
But you're also not trying to let them just pop off and come out.
Yeah, you got a few. You got some.
So you're going to stop things that you feel like might give them put them way too far ahead and make it impossible for you to win.
Right.
But you're not going to just remove something because it's a 4/4 with trample and you don't want to take a couple points.
Because I have 3 other removals in my hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, but the point is it's more proactive than it is reactive. You tend to more let somebody do their thing as long as they're not trying to win.
Yeah, and you're not playing stuff that you're not playing stacks.
Right.
Like it doesn't say that, but it essentially says that.
Right.
You're letting them be able to play the game and have fun. And I do think the amount of board wipes and the amount of single target removal, and I would probably say board wipes are probably one of the biggest things here that you really don't want to do. Yeah. Now, if someone's in bracket 2 and they're like, well, I just want to, you're supposed to let me do my thing and be considerate. My thing is to storm off. Full stop, dude. Stop.
Yeah.
You do not have a storm deck in bracket 2. That doesn't make any sense. That's like even an artifact deck in bracket 2, unless you're being very careful, like, I don't know, that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
Now, if you telegraph it, I don't know. This is more battle cruiser magic.
Yeah.
I'm building a board, I'm attacking you with it.
Right. I mean, think about the pre-cons that are usually made. They don't have a ton of interaction. They have a little bit.
Yep.
They don't have a ton of board wipes. They have 1 or 2.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the kind of thing. It's like you have something if you need it.
That's a great example.
You know, you're not putting a quarter of your deck in there.
And here's the other thing that they do. Play should last at least 8 turns. So if you're goldfishing your deck, and if someone doesn't interact with you, you're winning every time on turn 5 or 6, you do not have a bracket 2.
Yep.
And you go, well, someone might interact with me. No, there's less interaction in this.
Yeah.
It's unlikely they're going to do that. In bracket 3, you go turn 5, there's going to be a board wipe.
Yep.
There's no guarantee at bracket 2 that's going to be the case. So you need to be playing where your board takes 8 turns to win.
Right. And that's the thing. So while it is less reactive, that's because gameplay is low pressure.
Yeah.
You're not taking 30-minute turns and making 40 1/1 goblins in a turn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, like, I'm trying to think of what I can look. I'll look while you're going on to the next thing to see what my bracket 2s are to give a good example.
Okay. The other thing is this one still has no game changers, no mass land denial, no chaining X returns, no 2-card combos, which again are game enders, lockouts, or infinite. None of it. Not a single one of any of that. If you have Blood Moon, you are not at bracket 2. If you have Winter Orb, you're not a bracket 2.
If you have any Planeswalker that supers and denies lands, you're not a bracket 2.
Right, which you figured out.
Yep.
You had one. You're
if
like,
you have Vorinclex,
you're
not a bracket 2.
Yeah.
So it could be one card that kicks you out.
Right. So these are the things that I think people miss when they say, oh, I have a tier 2, a bracket 2, because I have no game changers, I have no extra turn spells, I don't have any 2-card combos, but I have 7 board wipes, I have 15 pieces of removal, and I'm going to win on turn 6.
Here's a good example. So one of my bracket 2s is Rin and Ciri Inseparable. It was that Secret Layer one.
The first one.
So most of the cards in there are special art. So like it's a lot of basic lands in a 3-color deck. So first of all, that makes it hard. And most of the removal is actually on the commander. And I have to have multiple cats and dogs out to do its ability to do damage to creatures, and that's very telegraphed. Like it's out there for everybody, but it's not a weak deck, but it's definitely 2. Nikia of the old ways, without that card that makes me go infinite, with just as a budget deck, I'm playing creatures and I'm attacking you, but they're big creatures, but still. Those are 2 good examples, I think.
Right. So that's why I say like. Most of my shop, I think, plays bracket 3. They say, but no, this says it's a 1. If you're telling me it's not 1, well, it's definitely a 2 because it's not got any of this stuff. No, you win turn 6.
Yeah.
No, you win turn 7 and like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
No, you just counter everything anybody does.
Yeah.
Those all say it's not a bracket.
You should almost go, okay, you're about to win? Great. You don't get a turn for 2 turns. We'll go ahead and take our turns.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no, you can't do that. Yes, I can. You said it was a bracket 2. It's turn 6. You can't win yet.
Yeah. You have to hold off on your win.
Yeah, you got to wait.
You can do something else. You want to do something
I have 2 turns to try to beat you before you win.
This all being said, there is those times when somebody just gets the perfect hand.
The nut draw.
Yeah. And they're just like, this never happens, but I'm starting with Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Mind Stone.
But that's not really what we're talking about. right? We're talking about if they consistently do this.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm saying don't beat somebody else because you can tell when they just had a pop-off game.
Which, again, I do not understand why in bracket 2 there are not rules against fast mana. Because you could follow all the rules for bracket 2 other than the turns, and you could be playing Burgeoning, Exploration, Mana Geyser, Seething Song, Dark Ritual. Yeah, you're going to go very fast. Yep. The only thing you'd be ignoring is how many turns you win by.
Yep. So, for sure, this is though why I say back several episodes ago where I said we should have like a decimal system and take those things and how many pieces of fast mana. Each one of those is worth 1% or whatever. Yeah, and it makes a difference.
It does, but that's very heavy to figure out every time.
It is. Like I said, you wouldn't need a
calculator. But in this, what I would say is, you said I have the nut draw, that's why it's doing this. Well, if you have all those cards I just listed in your deck, your likelihood of having a nut draw is really high. Yeah. Oh, I didn't hit Soul Ring, but I hit Burgeoning, so now on turn 2 I have 4 lands.
Right.
You can't do that. Like, I don't normally run into this. Oh, get out of here.
So what do you normally run into? The other ones.
What?
What do you normally run into? All the other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't normally run into more than one at a time.
So the bracket 3, it's just called upgraded.
This should just be called casual commander.
Yeah. This is pretty much where most decks in the wild lie.
Yeah.
Decks are powered up with strong synergy and high card quality. They can effectively disrupt opponents. See what we talked about earlier? All those things? Yeah. This is the other thing I underline. Win cons can be played from hand in one turn, usually because of steadily accrued resources. It's like you built up, all those all extra land drops over the course of 3 or 4 turns. Now you can cast your big thing, and a turn or 2 later you win.
So I just played a deck that follows the rules of bracket 3. We are far in turns, though. I feel like we were at past 6 at least.
Which one are you talking about?
Uro.
Uro, yep.
And it played Omniscience. Now, I had to do a lot of stuff to get all those lands. Played Omniscience, and then basically won the game. And I might look at this and go, I guess it was steadily accrued resources, but it's 100%. on the borderline.
You had 10 mana. Most people cheat out or somehow reduce the cost of Omniscience or something like that.
That's true. I didn't cheat it out of the graveyard.
You paid mana, and it was almost all lands.
Yeah.
So it was later in the game. You had ramped a bunch. You had played additional lands. This was not like turn 4 or 5.
All right, fair.
Yeah. Gameplay can be proactive and reactive, and this is what I'm talking about. You could have a deck where you're just reactive, and then you just hope to get to your win.
Yeah, you're slowing everybody down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a controlled deck.
Yep.
You could play a controlled deck in bracket 3.
That's a Podfather deck. That's a Podfather special.
Yeah.
Play should last at least 6 turns before somebody wins.
Yeah.
That's right there. If you're winning consistently turn 3 or 4, you're too strong. If you're winning consistently on turn 8, 9, 10, you might not be strong enough. And that's another thing that I noticed the other day. It is a balance, right? Because I have decks they can't win by turn 6 or 7, but I'm going to slow you down so you can't either is the key.
Control deck is different, yeah.
Right. But if I'm slowing you down so you can't either, if you're changing everybody to your game pace, you are still in bracket 3.
Yes.
It's not that you're stopping them from doing it so that they come to your level. It's the same thing.
Well, look at it this way. If by turn 6 you've locked the game down, meaning your draw engine's online and you got enough counter spells to deal with the table, you're essentially winning.
Right.
Most people at that point, if they're being smart, are going to go, I give up.
Right.
You got it. You locked it down.
Here's the other thing I want to point out to people. You may disagree with our interpretation of this, but when we're reading these lines, that is coming from Commander Central. It's coming from Gavin Verhey and the Commander Committee. This is their rules. We're giving our interpretation. You can argue with that. You can't argue with what we're saying. Okay? Turn 6 is what they say.
Well, yeah, but you can argue with whatever you want.
Well, you're going to be wrong.
Yeah, you don't have to play by the brackets.
No, that's fine.
You can think
but
these
I'm saying
are dumb,
if they're like, no, you're wrong. You can win by turn 4 or 5. That's fine. No, you cannot. I mean, if one, like again, one-offs is different, but no, you cannot consistently.
Yeah. And if you're doing the one-offs, maybe just slow it down, dude.
Yep. Here's the one that I think most people don't think about when they're arguing that, no, it's a bracket 2. 0 to 3 game changers. It does not say 1 to 3. It says 0 to 3. It knows that you can have a bracket 3 with 0 game changers in it. Some people have this hard and fast. They think it's hard and fast that, like, as long as I don't have 3 game changers, any game changers in it, it's not a bracket 3.
I also don't know how much some game changers really move the needle.
It really depends on the deck, but they're trying to make broad generalizations, and I do think too they're trying to get away from game changers. Well, no, they're trying to get away from ban. They don't want too many game changers, which I think is a mistake. It really depends on the deck. I've pointed out before, Thassa's Oracle without any of those cards that go gross is actually not a very good card.
Right. Yeah, you make the same argument for crop rotation.
Yep.
If you're just going to get even Nykthos, it's in a bracket 3, that's probably not that scary.
Yep. Ancient Tomb in a deck where you have no rocks and no other real ramp.
Yeah, if you don't have a ton of fast mana.
Yeah.
But also why are you playing?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, though, these are the things that, like, yes, you can. There are cases to be made that.
Seedborn Muse, because you just want to tap your creatures to give them vigilance. Weird, but.
I mean, I don't.
Back before Seedborn Muse was a game changer, there were decks where I put Seedborn Muse in just because I had it. It's a 5-drop that gives your creatures vigilance.
Well, except that there's not many things that give all your creatures vigilance. I know you're spoiled because you play Rick Steadfast, but
what?
Rick Steadfast leader.
Yeah,
he can give all
it's powerful, but it's not game changer powerful. For instance, like
it is.
So you're allowed 3 game changers, right? So Swanee and I were dealing with this, where you also have the rule restriction of time, how quickly you can win, right? 6 turns.
Yep.
So we were talking about him putting Breach in. What's it called? Underworld Breach, right? And I was like, nah, I don't think you can. I don't think you can put it in that deck. It's a game changer, but in that deck, you're gonna win before turn 6. Like if you get that card, it's over.
Yeah.
So even though you're allowed 3 game changers, you might even think about what game changers you're putting in there. Like,
well, I will point out with Seedborn Muse, the problem you have with your argument is it doesn't just untap your creatures.
Yeah. But if I don't have instant speed stuff.
Do you have a deck that doesn't have? Well, the only deck you have that doesn't have instant speed stuff is that one.
You don't have very much.
Red,
like
green.
I have decks that just don't have that much instant speed.
Well, your red green one only is creatures. Right? Yeah. So I mean,
and Seedborn Muse was in that.
Yeah.
Back before it was crazy.
Right.
But now it's a game changer.
Right. For most people, it's a game changer. There are going to be key instances when it's not.
Yeah.
But it is very powerful to be able to untap all your permanents on everybody.
Yes, and especially if you put it in the right deck, like in Reese the Redeemed, where I keep using his ability on everyone else's turn.
You have to make these broad. It's like the argument of guns don't kill people, people kill people, right? It's like, yes, that is generally true, but some people can't be responsible. And it's the same thing with game changers. Some people can't be responsible with their game changers. I mean, nobody dies.
I will say. I will say. I'm not sure this podcast. That is an opinion by the Podfather alone. The rest of this podcast does not necessarily agree with that gun opinion, but I do agree with your point. Yes, they are dangerous.
Yes,
not guns. Well, guns are dangerous, but these cards can be dangerous in the wrong deck.
I'm just saying it's the same as the argument. I'm not saying I endorse the argument.
Yes.
But there's no mass land denial still. No chaining extra turns. You can have no 2-card combos.
Now this is where it's interesting. We get into some interesting stuff here because this is kind of why we're discussing it. Because as I was building my decks, I was looking at like, okay, so I have extra turns in, let's say, Storm, right? Storm, Force of Nature, I think is her full name. And by her nature, she chains extra. If I play an extra turn and I've played 2 spells before, I'm going to cast it 3 times. That's chaining extra turns.
Yeah.
But what if I have a deck where I'm playing Uro, and which is a sort of a landfall deck, and I have an extra turn in there because I have lots of mana. So I play an extra turn spell, and then I have Eternal Witness to get back that and play it one more time. Is that chaining? And I don't think it is. That's just using recursion.
It probably isn't, but then if you also have a way to get Eternal Witness back.
If you're using Eternal Witness with Displacer Kitten.
Which you have in that deck.
No, I took Displacer Kitten out.
Yeah, you had it when we played it the other day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it to flicker Eternal Witness to continue to get back extra turns, then that would be, which is part of the reason why it's out of the deck.
Right. Yeah.
So that's on chaining extra turns, and then Mass Land Denial. Another one that was interesting is I had to take, what is it called? Ice Storm? What's the one called?
Oh, yeah.
Storm. Is it called Ice Storm?
Yeah, which came in the secret lair.
Correct.
It feels bad taking that out.
It literally is thematic to have it in there. It's not actually really that great of a card because there are so many other cards I'd rather play for 3 mana to copy. But because her ability copies it and it's going to destroy 5 or 6 lands, that's possibly Mass Land Denial. We were even talking about the saga Galactus. Do you remember the full name of the saga?
The Coming of Galactus.
Coming of Galactus. When Galactus comes out, whenever he attacks, he destroys a land.
Yeah, you had wanted that. You were like, I need to have that for my saga deck. That's amazing. And then when you read it carefully, you're like, can't do it.
Mass Land Denial. Now, that is absolutely debatable. Okay?
Right.
Someone could absolutely say it's not. It's one at a time. That's not Mass Land Denial. And I wouldn't fight with you. I'd be like, okay, I see your point.
And the other thing is, Galactus is what, 14/14 or something?
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is not the land he's blowing up at that point.
No,
I mean,
for
it's an added salt. But, so there are nuances to this. There's things that you're going to have to talk out with your group.
Yep.
Some things are kind of not as clear. But I remember talking to you about the 2-card combo, and you were like, what does that mean? Well, I went into it. It tells you what it meant. You know what I mean? I had to find it, but it does tell you. Game enders, lockouts are infinite.
Yeah, but it's in
because you were talking about what if you have a 2-card.
But it doesn't say no 2-card combos. It says no 2-card combos before a certain turn. You don't have that written in here, and that is part of bracket 3.
Right. Well,
so
any turn after turn 6, you're allowed it.
No, I think it's like turn 4. So there's the 2-card combo has and this is why it's difficult.
It has to be 6 because if you have a game ender on turn 4,
but you don't always have a game ender.
But that's
2-card infinite combo could be mana. That doesn't win the game.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah. We'll look it up. We'll get that information for you guys later. But these were the type of things we ran into where it's really hard to understand because in one site maybe they've decided it's no 2-card combos, and in another site it's no 2-card combos
I got mine
before a
directly
certain
from
turn.
the commander site.
Right, but there's 3 different there's updates to that site. Do you know how much you have to read to find all the rules? They don't have it laid out in one central location.
Yeah.
They have 2 separate announcements, and you got to read through a ton of stuff.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Let me see this real quick.
And it might be turn 6. I don't know for sure. But it's definitely 2-card combos before a certain turn. Can't be done.
I hate graphics that don't let you zoom in. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
It says late game. It does not say turn.
So if you win by turn 6, late game's 5.
Yeah. In an instance where it's not a game ender or
correct.
A game winner.
So again, that's why these words matter so much.
So it means late game is an after 6, go for it.
Right. So when
for sure. And if it's 5 and you're not going to win with it, go for it.
Yeah. So with these, they're very specific in the rules, but they have not helped us by putting they need to have a place, which I guess Gavin said they're having a meeting with Wizards, and then they're going to have updates to the brackets and
soon,
everything.
hopefully.
So hopefully when they do that, take all the information you've said in both updates, get rid of those pages, do one central page with the actual rules as is right now, and keep that up to date. So we know what the heck the rule is.
Right. And the thing is, you have to understand the spirit of this. If you on turn 3 have a 2-card game ender that you could play, and that happens a lot, and you're just choosing not to, your deck is too strong.
Yeah.
Tone it down.
Even if you're like, I'm just going to hold it in my hand and wait till turn 6.
You may be honoring the spirit of the game, but your deck is not built to it.
You got to do the math. If your commander costs 4, okay, and you can get him out on turn 3 regularly because of ramp, and then the card you need also costs 3, you're casting your commander on turn 3, you're casting that card on turn 4. you might be breaking this rule.
Right. Choosing not to does not make your deck legal for that bracket.
Correct.
That's one thing
You got to
to
do the math.
Yep.
Yep. And you can't be like, my commander costs 4, so I don't get it till turn 4. That's typically not how it works.
And then here's where you and I kind of say, this is stupid. Tier 4 is called optimized, right?
Tier 4 is useless.
It's mini CEDH.
Yeah, I don't know why. I suspect they're going to do like 6 game changers in this when they finally do it, because there needs to be a difference.
There needs to be more differentiation. But what it says is decks are lethal, consistent, and fast. Designed to take people down as fast as possible or win as fast as possible. They do not adhere to CEDH metagame. That is the only concrete...
No, there's one more concrete.
Oh, that's true. But that is one of the only concrete things they've said. What it means is, in CEDH, if you really want to play CEDH and you want to play the top of CEDH...
You're deck teching.
Yeah. You're like, I am playing Vivi this specific way with
exact
this.
List.
You may have 1 or 2 cards that you've changed out, but it's this exact list.
You're not getting cute at all.
Right.
Yep. And by the way, when you go for the win, you're doing it in this perfect sequence each time.
Right. You may have 2 or 3 ways, so maybe it's like 2 or 3 different perfect sequences, but you have it down as a, this is, I do this, I do this,
Which
I do this.
Is harder, but also easier, because you just play chess. You're just memorizing your sequence.
Right. Win cons vary, but can end games quickly and suddenly.
Right.
Again, could be said about
that doesn't
CEDH.
mean anything, right?
Gameplay to be explosive and powerful, featuring huge threats and efficient disruption.
I would actually argue it's not huge threats. It's just you lose. Like, they're typically low to the ground threats.
Yeah.
That just combo.
But if you don't lose, it's a huge threat. You're like, oh, that's a combo piece right there. It's there.
I mean,
they're not doing it yet.
Typically, they're not playing the combo piece until they're comboing, though.
Yeah. Play should last at least 4 turns. But if you're trying to win as fast as possible, that's the other one. But I would argue if you're playing to win as fast as possible, there is a level at which you're not tier 5, you're not bracket 5, but yet you're not.
If your deck can win on turn 1, 2, or 3 consistently, it does not fit this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Now, I would argue
the part where it's just stupid,
if your
no
deck
deck
consistently
restriction.
wins on 4.
Yeah.
It's also probably pretty close to CEDH.
Right.
Like, I don't know what the difference is.
Right.
That's incredibly fast.
And the unicorn in this, right, is that a lot of times what the bracket 4 is trying to come up with a new meta for bracket 5. You're trying a build to get something new into, because that does happen. That's how Vivi first got started, is somebody started playing Vivi. Mm-hmm. It's a bad example because everybody knew it was broken when it came out. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, the first person to do that, it's probably the first version was a bracket 4.
But I bet you Ralph and Mikey snuck up on some people.
Yeah,
because that's a CEDH now. But I bet you people are like, oh, this is just a cool Ninja
You mean
Turtle.
like Swanee?
Yeah. Yeah. Which it was a cool find by him.
And about tier 5, I'd say you know who you are. There's no deck restrictions.
Yeah,
what you are doing is deliberately CEDH.
You're not us. You're not a casual dude. Get out of here.
There's nobody
You're a sweaty CEDH player.
There's nobody that's like, I'm playing CEDH, right? And they sit down and it's like, and my deck is all about chairs.
So
that's not what CEDH is.
A great example was last night we played, right? You, me, and Swanee. And I played Osgear, right? So it's an artifact deck. And I had probably 3 different ways I could win. And because I had 3 different ways I could win, I was and I don't play that deck a lot. So I was just, I wanted to win with Hellkite. And I had enough artifacts to win on my turn because I attacked Duncan and stole his artifacts. And I played Clever Concealment because I was like, I'm gonna blink out of here. And what I forgot is it's not Teferi's protection. So there was a whole bunch of stuff I could have left back, but I had so many decisions to make at that moment that I just was like, I'll just blink everything.
Yeah.
And then they were managed to do 1 damage, 2 damage more than they needed to kill me.
Yep.
But still fun. They had a chance. And there were other things I could have done, but that's the difference. In bracket 3, even in bracket 4, there's room for, like, it's not a guarantee. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm putting together my win out of nothing.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in CDH. They know exactly how they're going to win.
Right. Now, here's the thing. The other thing is somebody who builds a CEDH deck, from one of the lists, might play like a 4 because they aren't used to CEDH. That does not make their deck a 4.
Because they don't sequence their turns correctly.
Right. The famous one I remember is we had a CEDH tournament at the shop. They've never done it again because it's they like casual. They don't like competitive.
Right.
That's what they want at the shop. And somebody played Thassa's Oracle and passed priority.
Oh. Yep.
And then there was another time I heard about where somebody played the Demonic Consultation first and then the Thassa's Oracle.
That's the thing. You have to. Sequencing is so important, CEDH. And what a lot of CEDH players will say, well, we understand the rules better. Well, you have one deck. So I have 30 decks that I have to understand how to play. You have one deck, and you have 5 different ways you're going to win it, which you've memorized.
Yep.
I have 30 decks, which each have 5 or 6 different ways, which I have to come up with in the moment.
Right.
So who's smarter?
Well, you might even have more than 5 or 6 because you might be like, well, this card will work with this card or this card.
Or I
as
might
long as I
steal
have this
someone's
other
card,
Yeah.
and now I'm doing something completely different.
Yeah.
And,
but
you know,
these are the things, if you listen to what we said and really think about it, like I said, you can disagree with our interpretation, but our point is these Moxfield, the Archidex, whatever site you want to use, they cannot tell you accurately what bracket you are. They can give you a rough estimate based on the cards.
they're helpful.
They're helpful.
I put all my decks into Moxfield and into ChatGPT.
Most, like I said, most decks in the wild, I believe strongly, are at least bracket 3. I think some of them are strong bracket 3s, some may be very weak bracket 3s, but even without game changers, that's why they used to call bracket 2 the pre-con, is because you weren't really tweaking it. You know what I mean? You were getting a deck. You might trade a couple of cards out.
Yeah.
You're kind of keeping it mostly the same. Maybe you upgraded your lands, but it was, for the most part, you were just keeping it the same. If you take the deck and basically change out half the cards, more than likely you're now bracket 3. I mean, it really depends, but that is a generalization. But that's why, but not all pre-cons were bracket 2. Some were bracket 3. Now most are bracket 3, I would argue.
Possibly.
The Fantastic Four deck,
Yeah.
it's crazy out of the box.
Yeah. The +1/+1 counter deck from Final Fantasy was pretty good.
Pretty good.
So was Y'shtola.
Yep.
That was crazy powerful.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think what we need to tell people out there though is if you have someone who is doing it from Moxfield and they're like, no, it's a bracket 2. Hey, don't waste your time arguing with that. Dude, like you tell them and they're like, nope, it's a bracket 2. Just don't play with them.
Yep.
Just move on, dude. Don't fight and argue with people. There's no point in that. Like, don't destroy relationships over this.
Right.
Just move on. You know, if you don't like something someone's doing, you can tell them. You don't lose your cool. Don't lose a friendship. Just move on.
The other
Not
thing
a big deal.
you can just play by their rules. You don't have to say anything about it. You could just be like, I have a deck
If
that
they're
just
not
like yours has no game changers, but I think it's a bracket 3, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to say this out
That's
loud,
true,
but
yeah.
you're like, that's the deck you pull out.
Yeah, if you want to do that. But it's also good to go, hey, I care about our friendship, so I'm just going to play at a different table.
Oh, you could do that too, but that could cause bad feelings as well.
And again, maybe you need new friends then, you know, because if you're like, hey, dude, I'm doing everything I can, but lying to you, because my other option is to go ahead and play by your rules, which I know isn't true, and what am I going to lie to you? Or I guess you could go, okay, well, if you're okay with that deck being bracket 1, can I play my bracket 3? And they're like, no. And then I'd be like, okay, I don't know what to do.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie and say it's a bracket 1, though.
Yep. I do wish that there was a way for Wizards to have a system where you could put your deck list in, but it can't happen because there's so much about intent, so much about gameplay, so much about,
I mean, they tried to build sets that come out without broken cards in them, and even that's impossible.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do because what they can't account for is the ingenuity of an entire player base.
Right. They've already had to have erratas come out on The Hobbit.
Yep.
They already have cards that have been banned from Marvel in several formats.
Yeah.
It's impossible for people that want to be like, no, the thing said I was bracket, and you know what you're doing. There's no way they can make a system. You're setting an unreal expectation to say, well, if they can't make one, then I'm not, You either follow with us or don't. Don't play games. Don't pretend you're a bracket 1 because you say your thing is birds and it's like,
Birds are powerful now.
Yeah.
So be careful with that. There used to be a meme, but they're not anymore.
Chocobos changed the game a bit.
No, not only that, there's what's the angry bird from The Hobbit?
Yeah.
That one's funny.
Yeah, big fat old, or I can't remember anyway.
I don't know
Fat
what
old
it's called.
spider, and then there was
Decrepit old bird.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but this is a Jeff hot take. Okay. So this isn't necessarily a Commander's Pod hot take.
Right.
This
Maybe
is
there's
Jeff
a
hot
disclaimer
take.
above us right now.
Yeah. So the Jeff hot take is everybody's getting ready for Star Trek. Okay. This is like a second aggro Jeff. And there are people that are talking about going to, what do you call it? When you don't go to the buy from them.
Boycotting?
You're going to boycott the stores when Star Trek comes out or whatever, because people are really upset. I had a good conversation with some people at one of the shops on how upset they are about Benedict Cumberbatch and his Shieldred card. And I just this was my point I made. I think it's a valid point. Literally in the display was a picture of, I think maybe it was Enlightened Tutor. I don't know which one it is, but it's a grandmother holding glasses. Like just an old woman at a desk holding her glasses. And I'm like, okay, I get it if you're upset about people, right? And you're upset about Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever. I've been playing Magic for a while, and I've always been confused by some random old lady in my, enchantment deck or whatever. How can you consistently be upset about one thing and not be like, this is also ridiculous? So maybe just take a step back. And they had a valid point too. They said, she's drawn and this is a real person. It's like a photo or whatever. I think it's still drawn though, probably.
Yeah, it is.
But at the end of the day, guys, there's weird stuff in Magic. There has always been weird stuff in Magic. I mean, I look at some of the art from, what was the one? Avatar, where it's just a big face. Have you seen that one? Yeah. I forget what it is, or Beastmaster Ascension. I'm like, that's the most disturbing.
It's a scene
from the cartoon, but I could be like, that's annoying to me.
Yeah.
Just calm down. It's fine. It's a card. Just read the words, play the card. If you don't like the art, play a different one.
You're making a mistake.
Why?
Let them be upset about Star Trek so you can buy more.
No, man. I want Star Trek. I want you guys to experience the joy. I want you to go watch Next Generation and be like, yo, Captain Picard is like the anti-today's dude. He's like a man's man. He was awesome. But he could still enjoy fine art, enjoy history, and drink a tea.
And play
but also
flute.
Be awesome. Yeah. I play the flute. He was just awesome. But yeah, I get it, but maybe don't go along with the bandwagon. I don't know how you could be that upset.
Personally, I say you want to boycott it, that is fine. I will take your cards. I have no problem with it.
That is true. I am hoping to get a lot of boxes.
Yeah. And maybe you want to save up for the Star Wars set that I'm telling you should come out next year.
It may.
Yep.
It may. I don't think it'll be next year, though.
A lot of people are saying, oh, not so close to Star Trek. I think the opposite. I think get all the space stuff out of the way maybe is their theory.
I think they just need time to build it. I think they just signed the deal and they need time to build it.
No, they've had it in place. I think so.
We'll
for
see.
the anniversary,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I guess they had time to write all the Dungeons and Dragons books, so maybe they did. Yeah.
Just some notes real quick before we sign off. We're not going to be as regular putting out content for a little bit. We're working on some new systems. We're trying to make sure that we can have a consistent sound, a consistent video quality for you. We threw out a couple episodes because they weren't of the right caliber for what we want.
Not that our quality has been that great, and but we're trying to fix it.
Right. No offense to Tim. It's nothing he did. There were time.
Tim's still helps. Tim's still the editor.
Yeah. Tim's doing a great job. But there was one time when we got our new lighting, we turned the overhead lights off, and the light looked awesome to us. But then when he tried to do the editing,
and right now we're recording without a background, so we could have screwed this whole episode up.
Well, we shouldn't have because we really didn't get into specific cards.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, and he can still put things around us. It would just, if he puts it in front of us, it'd be over.
Can't do it if I'm weaving.
But the point is, when we did the thing without the overhead lights, yes, it got rid of the flicker, but it also got made shadows that made it hard to remove the background, and we ended up having to take that one down because it looked like we were cut out of paper.
Yeah, it looked like we were in a bad Teams call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're trying to increase our quality, and sometimes that's ending up with decreased quality as we try things out. But we're going to put some things together for sound and stuff, but we're going to make sure we get it right rather than pump out an episode every week. But we're still going to be like every week
Also,
to 10 days.
I'm on a trip next week.
Yep.
I have a pretty long trip in October, so we've just got some stuff coming up
Yep.
that's going to make it difficult.
And then after that will be some
and
holidays.
we have real jobs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm still hoping to go to MagicCon Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm hoping you go too.
Yeah, you just want me away. That's,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, so just wanted to give that update.
I'd like to cast my spells and have them resolve.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So you can find us youtube.com/@commanderspod. You can email us at cast@commanderspod.com. You can go to our website, commanderspod.com, patreon.com/commanderspod if you want to support us. Help us get to this better quality. We're looking at some new audio equipment and stuff down the road. And podcast sites, Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, etc. You can find us on all those. Don't forget that Spotify is now video as well.
We should just record that and put it at the end of every episode.
We should get somebody with like one
time.
of those announcer voices to just voice over me.
Yeah, because the only thing people wait around for is if I might say something ridiculous.
Right.
Which I don't. I'm trying to think of something.
I mean, you usually get that out of the way through the whole episode.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, but there have been some bangers at the end of the episode, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
Peace
or
out.
some goofy hand movements. You've done that. Yeah. But anyway, as always, play bold, swing wide. Don't forget to pay the one.
Out.